Good morning. Plato's Gorgias, day 6. Polus speaking, the disciple of Gorgias. What is it you say then? Do you hold that rhetoric is flattery? Socrates speaks. No, I said, a part of flattery. Can you not remember at your age, Polus? What will you do when you are older? It's a bit sarcastic. Polus. Do you think then that good rhetoricians are considered but poor creatures in the cities because they are flatterers? Is that a question or the beginning of a speech? So apparently I have a feeling that Socrates has a feeling that this poor Polus needs to be humbled a little bit. Polus, it is a question I am asking. Socrates, in my opinion, they are not considered at all. Ooh, ouch. I'm not going to say anything. Polus, how are they not considered? Are they not most powerful in their cities? He definitely thinks Polus needs some humbling. Socrates, no, if by power you mean something good for its possessor. I do indeed mean that. Do I think power is good for the possession necessary? I was thinking this morning about being powerful. And that is only good when it is not for the sake of a possessor of the power, but for others. But Polus means it's good for the possessor. Socrates, then in my opinion, rhetoricians have the least power of any in the state. Polus, what? Do they not, like tyrants, put to death any man they will, as they did with Socrates, and deprive of their fortunes and banish whomever it seems best? Socrates, by the dog, at every word you utter, Polus, I am puzzled as to whether you are speaking for yourself, or expressing your own views, or questioning me. I am questioning you. Well, my friend, then you ask me 2 questions at once. What 2 questions? Did you not say just now, do not the orators put to death whomever they will, and deprive of their fortunes and banish from the state whomever it seems best? I did. Then I claim that there are 2 questions here, and I will answer both. I say, Polus, that orators and tyrants have the very least power of any in our city, as I stated just now, for they do practically nothing that they will, but do only what seems best to them. There is a man I know who has this ability of seeing questions within questions, seeing the true question asked, when the question that is actually asked is spoken in such a way that it would not necessarily enlighten anyone hearing the answer. Polus, well, is not that to possess great power? Socrates, no, indeed, according to Polus. According to me, indeed, I affirm that it is. By the You do not, since you said the great power was a good for its possessor. So I do say. Do you call it good, then, if a man without intelligence does what seems best to him? And do you call this great power? Not I. Then refute me and prove that orators have intelligence, and that rhetoric is an art, not a form of flattery. But if you leave me unrefuted, then the orators who do what seems good to them and in our cities, and the tyrants, will possess no benefit herein. For power, as you say, is a good. But you too admit that to do what seems good to you without intelligence is an evil, do you not? I do. Then how can rhetoricians or tyrants possess great power in our cities, unless Polus proves against Socrates that they do what they will? Polus. Ugh, this fellow. Socrates. I deny that they do what they will. Now refute me. Polus. Did you not just now admit that they do what seems best to them? Socrates. Yes, and I still admit it. Polus. Then are they not doing what they will? Socrates. That I deny. Polus. When they do what seems good to them? Yes. What you say seems shocking and fantastic, Socrates. No need to offend Polus, my friend, to address it in your own style. But if you have any questions to ask me, prove that my view is false. If not, answer for yourself. Well, I am willing to answer, if only to learn what you mean. Oh, that's also a good technique. Frustrating someone to the point of that they're absolutely hanging on your lips to try to figure out what is it you actually mean. Socrates. Do you consider then that men will what on any occasion they are doing, or rather that for the sake of which they act as they do? For example, do you consider that those who drink medicine at the doctor's orders will what they are doing, namely the drinking of medicine, with all its unpleasantness, or the health for the sake of which they drink? Obviously, the health. So too with those who sail the seas and engage in money-making in general. They do not will what they do on each occasion, for who desires to sail and suffer dangers and troubles? No. But they will, in my opinion, that for the sake of which they sail, namely wealth. For it is for wealth's sake that they sail. Certainly. And is not this a general truth? If a man acts with some purpose, he does not will the act, but the purpose of the act. Yes. Now, is there anything in the world that is not either good or bad, or intermediate between the two, neither good nor bad? Things must inevitably be so, Socrates. And by good you mean wisdom and health and wealth and other such things, and by evils their opposite. I do. And by neither good nor bad you mean such things as partake now of the one, now of the other, and sometimes of neither, as for example sitting, walking, running, and sailing, or again such objects as stones and timbers and the like. Is not that what you mean? Or do you mean some other class of objects by what is neither good nor bad? No, I mean these. Now do men, when they act, perform these indifferent actions for the sake of good, or for the sake of the indifferent? Surely the indifferent for the sake of the good. It is in pursuit of the good, then, that they walk when we walk, that we walk when we walk, thinking this the better course. And when on the contrary we stand for the same reason, for the sake of the good. Is it not so? Yes, I think this can be This is actually quite deep. This is a whole theory on its own if you go into that. It is in pursuit of the good, then, that we walk when we walk, thinking this the better course. And when, on the contrary, we stand for the same reason, for the sake of the good. Is it not so? Yes. And do we not kill a man when we do so, or banish him, or confiscate his property, because we think it better so to act than not? Certainly. Then those who act thus always act for the sake of the good. I agree. Now, did we not admit that when we act with some purpose in view, we do not will the act, but the purpose of the act? Certainly. Then when we slaughter or banish from the city or deprive of property, we do not thus simply with these acts, but if they are advantage to our advantage, we will them. If harmful, we do not. For, as you say, we will the good, not what is neither good nor evil, nor what is evil. Do you think my statement is true or not, Polus? Why do you not answer? It is true. I should have done an eye roll, I think. Why do you not answer? It is true. If we admit this, then if a man, whether tyrant or rhetorician, kills another or banishes him or confiscates his property because he thinks it is to his advantage, and it proves to be to his harm, the man surely does what seems good to him, does he not? Yes. But is he doing what he wills if his conduct proves harmful? Why do you not answer? No, it seems to me he is not doing what he wills. Can such a man possibly possess great power, then, in his city, if, as you yourself admit, great power is a good thing? It is impossible. Then I was right in saying it is possible that a man who does what seems good to him in the state has no great power and does not do what he wills. Just as if you, Socrates, would not like to be at liberty to do whatever seemed good to you in the state rather than not, and are not jealous when you see a man killing or imprisoning or depriving of property as seems good to him. Do you mean justly or unjustly? Clearly, Polus is trying to provoke Socrates. And Socrates just goes ahead with his normal way of being and questioning. Not being provoked by being accused of something, but just saying, what exactly do you mean with that? And Polus is not responding very wisely. Whichever way, is he not to be envied in either case? Oof, Socrates. Hush, Polus. Polus. Why? Because we should not envy the unenviable and miserable, but pity them. What? Is that your impression of men of whom I am speaking? Of course. So, Polus says, whoever has power to do whatever he wants, whether it's for the sake of the good, the true good, or not, is enviable, should be envied. Socrates says, no. We should pity the man who has the power to do what will harm him. And that seems very obvious if you put it in that words. Pity the man who has the power to do that which will be to great harm for his soul. Maybe I should stop there. Have a beautiful day.